This is IVP. Welcome to the Wholehearted Households Podcast, a production of InterVarsity Press. This is a weekly podcast for Christian parents and caregivers to deepen their faith and disciple their families. I'm Helen Lee, Director of Strategic Initiatives at IVP. I'm also the mom of 3 college and young adult sons, plus 1 highly anxious mini Bernedoodle. And with my husband, Brian, we live in the southwestern suburbs of Chicago. When I'm not working at IVP, I am trying to write kids fiction, I am trying to play pickleball, and I am making homemade kimchi, which actually tastes pretty good most of the time. And I'm excited to serve as one of the co-hosts of this podcast.
And I'm Alex Blunt, Senior Sales Manager at IVP and co-host with Helen of the show. Outside of IVP, I have 2 wonderful little girls alongside my wife. We live in the western suburbs of Chicago. Helen, whereas you have a little bit older kids, both of my girls are under 3, and so I'm just venturing onto this parenting journey. And so been fun to get into the podcast here and some of the lessons we're learning. In addition to parenting, you might catch me on a run or in the garden with my wife or working on house projects. But ultimately, I speak about books at work. I talk about books at work. You'll also catch me reading books and talking about books outside of work too. So it's a joy what I get to do.
Alex, you'd be amazed at how fast it goes from raising little kids to having them be like all grown up. So it's fun to be on this journey with you where we have this broad spectrum of experiences together as parents.
We know you want to be a faithful parent, but we also know that raising kids isn't easy. Between the busyness of school pickups and drop-offs, managing the latest meltdown or argument, and the daily grind of everyday life, finding time to connect with God can be really challenging. That's why we've created the Wholehearted Households podcast.
And so listeners, here's what you can expect every episode. Each week, you'll spend some time learning about the books of the Bible with teaching from trusted IVP experts. And then you'll receive a practical discipleship nugget that ties with what you've just learned about the Bible that you can take back to your family that week. And then finally, we'll end every episode spending a few minutes connecting with God directly in a guided spiritual practice. Every episode is going to be short, less than 15 minutes, so you can tune in whenever life allows. And everything you hear on the podcast, starting from episode 1, will be drawn from the expertise of our amazing IVP authors and brought to you by a team of awesome IVP writers and producers. Karen Savella Stallard, Kaitlin Borek, Abby Lee, and Jack Reese, and you're going to hear many of their voices in the show itself. So I'm truly delighted that you all are going to experience such great content that we hope and pray will be helpful for you and your family.
What I like about the podcast is that it really speaks to hearts and minds. Of course, I'm a Bible nerd. I've read the Old Testament, but I have never thought about it in the lens of parenting. And so as we venture into the Old Testament this season, I have already been learning on this journey about what the Old Testament has to say to parenting, how I perceive myself as a parent, how I might live faithfully as a parent, a spouse, and then also how I might raise my kids faithfully. So I'm excited to enter on this journey with our listeners here.
Yeah, and even though my kids are older, you never stop being a mom or dad. So I, too, continue to learn and have learned even from this show as we've been working on it. So Alex and I, we can't wait to be part of this journey with all of you in the coming weeks. So if you're listening before we launch, hit that subscribe button to get notified when our first episode drops. Head on over to episode 1 to start listening, or jump right in to our latest release. And if you like what you hear, which we hope you will, please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. May God bless you and your family as you seek to follow Jesus with your whole heart.